Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. I am Jim Hacking. How's everybody doing? It's Sunday, January 9th. This is the 9th day in a row I've gone live. I'm going to try and go live all 31 days in January. September is when my birthday is. I'm always thinking about my birthday. Hope you all are doing well. Coming to you live from the house. I don't like that light in the background. It looks sort of weird. Hope everybody's doing well. Not sure what kind of an attendance we're going to get today. Oh no, Emma, my birthday's not till September, but thank you. Hope everybody's doing well. Got sort of a quiet day planned. Going to watch the last Jets game of the year. My terrible love affair with the New York Jets started when I was very young, and I still root for them this very day, even though they're not so good. Let me give you the link, Mo, and here's the link to join the show. If everybody could let me know in the comments where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, I might try to answer some questions in the chat too. So we'll see how this goes. This is sort of an earlier time than we're used to, but I got some things to do today. So I might just go for 31 minutes Bahrain. Oh man, we got someone from Bahrain. Emma, you can come on and you can turn off your camera, but I would need to hear you. Or you can just type your questions in the chat. Great Falls, Montana, Sierra Leone. This is crazy. We got people all over the world watching. That's great. That makes me excited. Good, Jihad. That's why we're trying to mix it up a little bit. We're trying to mix it up, give different people the opportunity to come on the show. And it looks like we got some people already in the waiting room. So let's get to it. Good morning, Anthony.
Hey, good morning. I was just, I'll try to do this quick. I'm getting ready to get married in about 20 days. And
congratulations.
Yeah, this is all new to me. Someone in Honduras. And my income, I live in Missouri. So I have a pretty low income. Yeah, South Central Missouri. So my income doesn't quite meet the requirements, and I can't find anybody to help with sponsor. But I did find out that she has a small house in Honduras, and it is equivalent to about 250,000. I didn't know if I was able to use that as part of support system or not. Do I have to does she have to liquidate that first before, or can it be used as an asset?
So, and she's overseas right now?
She's in Honduras. We haven't started any process. I've got the paperwork started, but I haven't filled anything out. I mean, I haven't submitted it because we're not married yet. We're doing the marriage visa.
So one thing to keep in mind about the co-sponsor is you don't need it at this stage. You'll need it at the next stage. So you do have more time to find the co-sponsor. It's going to be pretty hard to get them to consider assets as part of the calculation as to whether or not she's going to have the right amount of support. So I would encourage you to keep looking for a co-sponsor even after you file. You don't have to have it for 9, 10, 12 months. So you got plenty of time. But to get them to pay attention to your assets, or to get them to pay attention to your assets, would be hard. To get them to pay attention to her assets would be almost impossible, because they want to know that she has liquid cash here in the United States. And the way that they always check that first and foremost is by your adjusted gross income on your tax returns.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was just the question I was wondering, and I didn't think they would be able to do that. So I appreciate it. I will keep going. So thank you very much.
Good luck, Anthony. See you, bud.
Thank you.
All right, that was Anthony. Let's say hi to Mo. Hi, Mo.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can. How are you doing?
Oh, perfect. How are you doing today, Jim? I'm so glad to be here. I've been wanting to join, but I just keep missing it because I forget. I'm so tired throughout the week. I just sleep on the weekend, but I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
My situation is I came to the U.S. as a minor with my parents. My father came here on an F1 visa, and we filed for asylum. And, the whole time, it's been 8 years now pending, used my work permit, graduated university. But the situation is currently, after graduation, I want to go to law school. But, it's because it's asylum pending, I'm not sure. Nothing is certain. So it wouldn't make sense for me to go to law school and then just, they tell me you can't be in the US. So I was just wondering, is there anything we can do to get the process moving? Because, 8 years is a very long time.
Is your case still at the asylum office, or is it at the immigration court?
So we interviewed. I'm not sure where it's at right now, but we did the interview, biometrics. We haven't heard anything back. So
when was the interview?
2015, I think.
Wow. So I know this will sound strange, but I'm glad they haven't decided your asylum case. And the reason I'm glad they haven't decided your asylum case is because they are denying asylum at a much higher rate than they usually do. So it's gonna take, for 4 years, the Trump team was trying to deny as many asylum cases as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take a while for the Biden people to sort of normalize asylum again and make it back to the regular standards that it has been for the last 40 or 50 years, right? So this is actually good that your case has been delayed.
Yeah. When do you see this changing, I guess? Because, it's very uncertain. I'm building my future here, but at the same time, like, it can all crumble just by one decision, I guess, from the next administration. Yeah.
Right. I don't know when things are going to speed up. I mean, if the asylum case is denied, you'll get sent over to the immigration court. Is this your parents' case or your case?
My parents' case.
So how old are you?
I'm currently 20.
So when you turn 21, you're going to need your own asylum case.
Oh, so I can file separately?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I
need to.
I have more than enough evidence to support that, because the main reason my father filed for asylum is because his kids, we were in danger at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think I can use that evidence?
Yeah, what country is it?
Libya.
Yeah. So you'll have to start thinking about soon making your own asylum case.
Sure. And I had one more question. So I'm currently a full-time employee, and I use the work permit that they gave me, and as everything has been delayed right now, and I've heard of people waiting 11 months for their work permit.
Right.
I can't have that happen. And when should I apply to avoid that, I guess?
Well, so when does your current EAD expire?
October.
So you should apply in March.
We'll do that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the help. And I really got to start thinking about that, I guess. And do you think it will move faster if I apply separately, or they're going to make
it might, because newer cases are going faster than those older cases.
Sure. Makes sense totally. And I think part of the reason why it's still pending is that I was so young, so I couldn't tell him at the time. But my father, he used a lawyer that didn't even show up with us to the interview.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of like an online lawyer, I guess, that his friend used to apply. So he just sent them the evidence, and he filed the case for us, but nothing else after that. So I'm not sure if that was part of, the delay.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, Mo. Good luck, buddy.
Have a great day.
See you, man. All right, that was Mo. Let's go to Emma. Hi, Emma. Emma, you with us? Emma's here, but she's not here. So let's send her back to the waiting room. And let's talk to Santiago. Hi, Santiago.
Hi, Jim. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So I filed my adjustment and everything's doing great, but we got an RFE for the I-864.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, very weird to me, because my stepfather makes much more than the above poverty guidelines and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're preparing the response for the RFE, and what should exactly we should include in order to avoid anything in the future.
So your mother married a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And he applied for you?
Yes.
And he submitted an I-864 and all of his taxes and everything, and then you got an RFE for the I-864?
Yes.
That's really weird. I wonder if you guys didn't fill out something correctly on the I-864.
I think that was the reason, because they are telling us to redo the I-864.
Mm-hmm.
But we just want to make sure we're going to send this time. We're going to do it all properly. We don't want to make any mistakes.
Yeah, I hate that I-864, and it's confusing as hell.
No, I've seen it, the form, and
the math doesn't make any sense. And so I would imagine if he makes, well over the poverty guidelines, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, because he makes over a 6-figure salary, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's quite odd, and so another issue we're having with that is that the tax, can we get the tax transcript from the IRS? Would that help in the?
Yeah, that would help.
All right, and the other question is, well, Jim, I've decided on my career for the future, and I'm going to become an immigration lawyer.
Nice, that's awesome.
So this was because my adjustment. So I learned a lot about the immigration. I've been learning, and I've got very inspired and decided to go through this career. So what are your suggestions? Because I would have to be applying for law school. I don't know what's the path I should.
So you're in college now?
Yes, I would be applying for law school this year.
What are you majoring in?
I am majoring in political science and economics.
Perfect. And have you taken the LSAT?
I'm studying for it. It looks like a very difficult test, and I've been studying for it.
My best advice there is just get those books that have all the problems from the test, from old tests, and just do those over and over and over. That'll be your best studying. And then if immigration is really something that interests you, I would say after your first year of law school, take every immigration clinic you can, do whatever pro bono work, get experience in the immigration community. You're an immigrant, so you'll be able to have that. But like at our firm, we pretty much only hire people who either are an immigrant, are the child of an immigrant, or have shown a demonstrated love of immigrants. So you'd be fine there. But the more that you can show potential law firms that might want to hire you that you care a lot about immigration and that you understand how things work, that's going to make you a much easier hire later on down the road.
Because right now I'm planning actually to get an internship in an immigration law firm before I enter law school.
Send me your resume. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for everything.
All right, Santiago. See you, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. Always happy to encourage another immigration lawyer. We need more good immigration lawyers. There are a lot of bad ones out there, and there are a lot of people that are going through this process by themselves. We were talking yesterday at our firm retreat about how so many people do this by themselves, and I think a lot of them really make mistakes. I'm going to try this Emma one more time. Let's see. Emma, are you there? Keep popping in and out. I don't know what's going on with that one. Let's talk to Alex. It looks like Alex is outside, probably cold.
Yes, it is, Jim. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And I'm calling because I'm excited. I just want to let you know that I speak to you a couple weeks ago regarding my adjustment of status interview. I got approved.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you, from the Long Island field office. The immigration officer never asked me much question. He only asked me 3 questions. What's my spouse last divorce? Well, when was my spouse divorce final? And what's his mother's name, his father's name? Every other question he asked my spouse.
Great. That's awesome.
He never asked me anything about my asylum or anything of that sort. So I'm in the process now of getting my pro bono lawyer withdraw the case.
Good, perfect. And did you receive the green card?
No, I haven't received it yet.
But it says
approved though. Yes, it says it's approved.
That's awesome. That's great, Alex. I'm happy for you. Thanks for letting me know.
No problem, man. Thank you so much.
See you, buddy.
All right.
Well, that was great. We're glad to see that got approved. We always like it when people call us back and tell us that they won their case. So thanks, Alex, for that. That was great. Hi, Ulysses.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for doing this.
Sure.
I have one question. Currently, I have 2 cases pending. They are at the NVC level, so they've been documentarily qualified since, I believe, July and August 2020. So the embassy that's handling the case is the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. So because of COVID, and there have been a lot of stuff going on in the country right now.
Right.
So I've watched some of your videos where you say that you discourage transitioning from one embassy to another.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been thinking about, trying to file a lawsuit. What do you think about that? because of the time that's been taking.
When did your case start at the NVC?
I believe May 2020.
May 2020. So it hasn't even been a year. I would think you can't. I wouldn't really think about suing them now, especially with everything that's going on in Haiti. I would say probably towards the end of the year.
So yeah, it's been more than a year actually. So May 2020.
Oh, right.
May
I always think this is 2021. sorry. I'm still I'm still adjusting my clock. Okay. All right. Well, do me a favor, shoot me an email because I want to talk to Andrew and the away team about what we're seeing out of Haiti. And if
okay.
I mean, do you know, are they processing cases? Have you heard from other people?
They are processing cases, but it's going very, very, very slow at the moment.
Why do you have 2 cases?
Because I have 2 children.
Oh, you're the petitioner.
Yes.
Gotcha. And how old are the kids?
11 and 12. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay, that was my next question. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can sue.
Okay, so what is the email? Let me.
Yeah, sure. Send over your approval notices for the I-130.
Okay.
And the case numbers, from NBC.
Okay.
And we can go from there.
Okay, so what's the email?
I just typed it in, but here I'll put it up on screen.
Okay.
It's info@hackinglawpractice.com. And just tell them you were on the show and you want to talk to Jim, or that Jim said send this stuff over.
No problem. I'm gonna shoot you an email right now. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. Have a good day.
You too. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, let's talk to Samuel. Hi, Samuel.
Hi, good afternoon. Like last time, you predicted that I would get my interview by the end of the year. I got it by the very beginning of this year, the N400 interview.
So I was close.
Yeah, it's close. 3 issues that are this thing. First thing is, my divorce is unusual divorce, dissolution with child. I was reserved child support. So the judge, I was not required to pay the child support. But I did support in other forms that they came with me, stayed in the summer with me. I took care of them about 2 months of summer, about 2 weeks in the winter, paid for their summer camps, etc., till they became adults. So would that be an issue?
Did they ask you a lot of questions about it?
No. It's coming up. The interview is coming up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of proof of the support? Could you get an affidavit from your ex-spouse, detailing that you're a good father who provides for the children? That's what I would do.
Yeah, but she's not going to. I mean, that's the reason. The divorce was,
messy.
She's not going to this thing. But I do have something like photographs that throughout the childhood and the bills that I paid. Not all of them, but some of the bills that I paid for accommodation and summer camp, like that.
Well, I would say the more of that you can bring, the more documentation you can show of the time they spent with you, the money you spent on them, all that stuff that can be an issue at the interview for sure.
Okay, because I didn't know at the time of the divorce, that's the lawyers came up with it. Your child support is reserved, so for and alimony is waived. So
yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's not like anyone was trying to screw you at the divorce. It's okay.
So I don't have all that because I initially, my children are now adults, but the airlines, they're not giving me the tickets more than 7 years ago or 5 years ago.
Sure.
And
so here's what I would do, Samuel, is if you can't get an affidavit from your wife, I would at least write it all out and sign it in an affidavit from you. Because you're going to want to be able to talk about this for a long time at the interview, not a short time. Usually I always tell people, try to give your answers as quickly as possible. But on this, you sort of want to pile on with all the support that you've given to the kids, and you don't want to forget anything. So writing it all out ahead of time would be a good idea.
Yeah, and one more thing with the divorce was, once the dissolution has come up when the children were 13, she didn't want to send the children to me.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the court again and, get an order.
Yeah, so you got to prove all that up, man. You can't they're not just going to take your word for that. You have to prove all that up.
Yeah, and she makes some allegations that the court denied, I had my children, and then she denied, she didn't send once, and the judge again ordered me to send. So the divorce is a long, like a 500-page, it kept on going till they became adults.
Okay, what other questions do you have? You said you had a couple questions or a couple issues?
Yeah, there are some traffic violations that I couldn't get the tickets, but I got something like a driving record that shows these are the traffic violations. And some other older ones, there was no record. I couldn't get the record also.
Okay, depending on where you are, they'll usually take your word for that. So
okay, and then the other issue is I was civilian military training in India.
Okay.
Weapons and military training. So I don't have any documents to prove that. I just said that.
Yeah, again, that's something that they should take your word for.
Okay.
You were never in combat or anything, right?
No, it's purely civil and educational purposes. Like one was forestry training, and the other was like junior ROTC.
Okay.
And then that's one thing. And then national interest. I got green card through the national interest waiver, EB2.
Uh-huh.
Then immediately after, a month or so, in a matter of month, I was fired from the job. So I couldn't get the job. I was unemployed, did some odd jobs. So then I joined master's program where I was doing in my field, trying to improve in my field.
Okay.
And very recently I got the job in my field too.
So what's the question?
So would that be an issue? Because after getting the national interest waiver, in a month's time, I was fired from the job.
As long as it was all legit and you didn't say anything fake to get the national interest waiver, you should be fine.
Absolutely not.
You're going to need to explain it though.
And also, would that help that I have the current job that is as important?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the main issue would be the child, how I took care of the children, the relationship.
Yeah, your case is the kind of case that needs some work. I would suggest you probably need a lawyer's help to sort of strengthen everything, tightened up, because you're going to go in there not with one, not with two, but three little things for them to pull apart on. And it's not that I think they deny you for any of it, but I do think that if you leave it messy, they'll take longer to decide the case. Okay,
so have all the documentation as much as I could, because I didn't know at the time of divorce these things would be happening,
Right.
It's a court ordered and it's a divorce that they reserved the child support. They never ordered any child support.
Well, but you still participated. It's not they. Don't act like you're a victim or anything. It's sort of what was agreed upon.
Yes, definitely. And I did as good or better, except that I don't have all the documents because I didn't prepare. So I had to dig up my old photos, call my old Kuman, mathematician.
And make copies of all that, okay? I'm going to let you go, Samuel. Good luck, buddy.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, see ya. All right, we've been trying to get Emma on, so I'm going to go ahead and pull her comment up here because I think it's helpful for a lot of people. So she's talking about her boyfriend who's a Moroccan national living in Italy. He wants to visit Los Angeles to see me. We're in love, but no, it's just a visit. If we decided to marry later, how will this work? What can we do to keep him with me in Los Angeles if we decided to marry while he visits LA? So here's the thing. I think the chances of a Moroccan man living in Italy getting a visit visa are under 5%. So even if it's only for a visit, they're going to think he's coming to get married. So I think it's very unlikely, Emma, that he's going to get the visit visa. He is living in a third country. That is, Italy is not even his home country. So the whole thing always with a visit visa is whether or not the individual is going to go back home. And here the embassy is going to say, well, he doesn't even reside in his home, so we're sure as hell not going to give him a visit visa. So I think your plan is flawed, and I don't think he's going to get the visit visa. If he got the visit visa and came to the United States, and if during that visit he decided to get married, you could deal with all that later. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get a visit visa. Most visit visas are denied, and especially for people of a marrying age. And then if they ask, where is he going to visit? And he says, my girlfriend in LA, they're like, forget about that. You're coming to get a green card and you're not getting a visit visa. So that's that. I hope that's helpful, Emma. I think you're going to either have to do a fiance case or get married. All right, let's talk to Kimi. Hi, Kimi. You're muted, my friend.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for this opportunity. This is my first time on your show, but I've been following all the, I would call them live shows. I don't know what you call them. Mm-hmm. My question is this. I have a sister. She's in Nigeria, right? I'm originally Nigerian, but I do have I'm a naturalized citizen right now. I filed for her. I think it was a sibling, I-130.
Yep.
Yeah, I filed for my parents as well. Because Nigeria is very unstable right now, and I just would like them here with me. My mother's gotten her, well, she's here now. Her green card's about to arrive in the mail.
Awesome.
The issue is my sister.
How old is she?
So, she is 19.
Mm-hmm.
She was here 2 years ago with my mom. They came together just on a visa, a visit visa. I'd had a baby then. I just had a baby then, and I needed some help because I was going through some postpartum depression.
Sure.
I asked to extend her visa, right? So this was in 2019. They approved the extension to 2020 of May. So now 24th of May, 2020 was when she was supposed to go back. Now her, that was like the peak of coronavirus. So her flight was canceled.
Sure.
So she had to stay past that extension date.
How long did she stay past that extension date?
She stayed, it depends on it depends. So she stayed over a year, almost 2 years. But in between those 2 years, she just turned 18 in 2020. So she left September 2021. I took her personally to Nigeria after we'd been vaccinated, and when I was clear to travel from work.
So just so I'm clear, she comes on a visit visa.
Yes.
She gets a 6 months entry. You
Yes.
file for an extension, she gets another 6 month entry.
Right.
And then after the last day of that extension, she leaves the United States a year and 3 months later.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what's the question?
So my question to you now is, now we know that there is like a ban. Well, I know now that there's a ban. I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
There is a ban, depending if it could be 3 years, it could be 10 years.
It's 10.
It's 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if she was 18, she just turned 18 in 2020, but she left America 10 months after that date.
Okay.
It's still 10 years.
So then maybe it's 3.
Oh, okay. So it could be 3.
Could be. I'd have to research it. I haven't had this scenario happen.
Okay.
Usually I don't have too many people who overstay that long. Now, before we even get to this though, you understand that your petition for her, I don't know when you filed it, but that, those
it's been a while, but we're hoping my mom can petition for her.
Yeah.
Faster that way.
Yeah. Have mom file an I-130 for her for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're dealing with maybe a 3-year. This is a fun question. I used to help my wife write exam questions for law school for when she taught immigration. This is a good one. Have you done any research on it? I'd be happy to poke around and look at it myself because it's interesting. Because Jen, what you're saying is, in theory, she didn't have unlawful presence until she turned 18.
Right. So that's the research I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a law degree.
Yeah,
which is why, I don't know. I thought it'd be a good question for you is, would she be banned for the 3 years or for the 10 years? Because she's 19 right now.
Yeah. Why don't you, first of all, when did mom arrive? So when did mom arrive?
Just recently.
And why do you think the green card's on its way?
Well, because her social security card has arrived.
Okay.
We've paid the fee. We've
So here's one thing to think about is I would have that I-130 ready for the day the green card arrives. You don't want to waste any time because you don't want her to age out, right? So this really is a law school exam question because you got lots of different things. You have a U.S. citizen sponsoring your sister. You have a green card holder sponsoring your daughter. You have an overstay, some of which was before she was 18, some of which was after. So it's a neat little puzzle. But shoot me an email and
I think I did already.
but I get 50 emails a day. Shoot me an email.
I know.
Shoot me an email. I can look in my big book. It's at the office. I can check tomorrow and probably have an answer for you relatively quickly. What I'll probably tell you, Kimi, is that we'll have an argument that it's only 3 years, but that it might be 10. That's probably what I'll tell you.
Okay. So definitely get a lawyer. I shouldn't do the case by myself, like petition. What would you advise?
No, I don't think you should do this by yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Well, yeah, and if you're in our system,
I am. I spoke to a Shada.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I can look you up tomorrow, and I'll send you an email. I'm taking notes. I have 2 video ideas in my Kimi note. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm on the case.
I should mention, Shada did mention to me to do some research on waivers of inadmissibility. And I have.
Yeah, that's going to be a waiver for a daughter for a mother. So the hardship would have to be to your mother.
Yes.
And that's going to be hard to do. Having a minor child prove hardship being separated from the U.S. citizen or the green card holding mother, that's going to be tough, especially when she has another daughter who's a U.S. citizen in the United States that can help take care of her.
Yeah, but she's a baby, and
but they don't care about that. They don't
really care about us.
No, they don't care. They just care about your mom. And for the purposes of the waiver, it's all about your mom. It's not about any hardship to your sister.
Okay.
But we can talk about that later. And if it's 3 years, it's going to take that damn long anyway. So you'll probably just save the money, don't do the waiver, and just play out the 3 years.
Okay.
Because
thank you so much.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 years to get the I-130 approved and get consular processing, all that stuff. But that's why you want to have that thing ready to go the day mom gets her green card.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Kimi.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye. All right, that was a fun little case. Let's talk to Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I have a question. I just submitted I-751 remove condition, and 2 months ago they updated my case status. They scheduled my interview on November 4th, and they will send me the interview later, but they not send it still. And again on December they just update they changed the date on my status, and this message is still same. They can send me the letter, but they not send. And 1 week ago they sent me a 24-month extension.
Well, that's automatic. That doesn't mean anything. Do you live somewhere popular like New York or LA or San Francisco?
I live near to Washington.
Near Washington? Yeah. So that's just like here in St. Louis, when you get that email that says your interview letter has been sent, we get that in 2 or 3. We get the interview notice in 2 or 3 weeks. In big cities like Washington, D.C., New York, San Francisco, it's usually 4 or 5 months. So you're okay.
So 4 or 5 months, I can wait for the 4 or 5 months. Can we send the message or email because we need to go our country? Me and my wife have some issues over there, so we need to go there. Can we send them an email and we tell them we wanna?
You can, but they'll just do it when they want. The date's already set. They're not going to listen. They're not going to listen to you.
They cannot listen. Okay. And one more question, please. My brother have approved from USCIS I-130 approval, and they send my brother case to NVC. So how long time taken NVC?
Where does he live?
He live in Pakistan.
So probably another year.
1 more year?
Probably. If you do everything quickly and everything goes well, yeah, about another year. But you got to, you still have to pay the fees. You got to submit the checklist. You got to do the DS-260, all that stuff.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Bye, Sean. See you, buddy. All right, that was Sean. Let's talk to Hyder. Hi, Hyder.
Hi, Jim. Happy Monday. So I have a question for you. I was interviewed in the Houston Asylum office back in 2019. And after 1 year, I received a referral to the court. And since this time, I don't receive any further notes from them. And last year, I moved to California because I have a job here. And I called the asylum office asking about my file, and they don't have answer. I called the court, called the OIR number. There is no any update. My case is not in the system. I called what they call it, USCIS contact center. I opened the case. After like month or 3 weeks, they replied by email. They said, we're not able to provide you an answer. Where's your case? And this looked like my case is lost or stuck between the asylum office and the court. So what's your advice? How can I solve this problem? I email them, I email both. I keep calling them like every week, but I don't have answer. And this is 2020.
So the last word that you officially received from them was that your case was being referred to the immigration court.
Yes, sir.
And then you never heard from the Houston court and have you updated? Have you called the?
Sorry, and the paper when I received it, they said to be decided because it's a COVID time. And what I did, I called the USCIS.
You mean your court date will be determined later?
Yeah. And what I did, I filled the AR11 form. I update my address when I called the USCIS, but I'm not sure, sometimes they didn't update it right away.
Well, there's another form you have when you're in immigration court. There's a different form you have to file to update your address with the court.
Okay. But since they don't have my file, how can they update my address?
Yeah. Well, I think your case is probably at the Houston Asylum or Houston Immigration Court, if I had to guess.
Okay.
That's where it should be. So you probably need a lawyer's help. And I have a friend who used to work at the Houston Asylum office.
Okay.
And now he's an immigration lawyer in Houston. If you send me an email, I can introduce you to him, and he might be able to help you.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, his name's.
I will send you email right away. Okay,
yeah, his name's Brian Manning.
Brian. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'll send you email about all the details I have. But
perfect.
It's been like almost 2 years.
Yeah, and well, the one thing we don't want them to do is order you deported because you didn't show up for court. That's the one worry that I have.
Yeah. So my work permit will be expired soon this year. So where I should file my work permit?
You'll have to file it, but you'll have to put a different code because now you're applying as someone in removal.
Oh, okay. So should I send it to in California?
I don't know. You got to look at the instructions.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Hyder.
Thank you. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right. Got time for a couple more. Let's see what VJ has to say. Hi, VJ.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, Jim. So I sent an email yesterday to the info@hackinglawpractice.com. I was watching the yesterday's stream.
Yeah.
After the stream was ended. I have something to add to Mr. Ali's question that you were talking about. He's an H-1B. His wife was in Pakistan, got a H-4 stamp, and she came in, and her passport was expiring quicker than her visa stamp. So I'm here to add some pointers to that. I am an H-1B here. My wife is on H-4.
Okay.
So it happens with us all the time. So when we are entering at the CBP, they look at the passport expiration date and the visa stamp expiration date. Whichever is short, that's what they issue the I-94 for. Okay. It's not an anomaly. That's the standard practice.
Okay. So, okay, perfect.
Yeah. And after we get in, right? So it's our responsibility to keep up with the I-94. And if the I-94 is expiring, right, either we have to file an extension of stay.
Which I think he said he did the day before it expired, right?
I thought he said her passport, the I-94 expired back in November.
Yeah, but he had said that he had filed for an extension the day before.
I didn't pay close attention to it.
No,
I thought he was actually filing after it expires. So if we were to file after expiration, right, they'll extend the stay, but they won't give I-94, and we have to go out and get the stamp for it.
Yeah.
Or the other way to do it is come inside, extend your passport, and step out and come back with the same approval to get the extended I-94. Yeah, but they do that all the time. And the other way to do it is, if we were to file after that, we have to file the nunc pro tunc and request them, hey, this is it's unfortunate, we forgot about it, can you please extend it from the time the previous I-94 has been expired. But that's up to their discretion. There's no guarantee that they'll do it.
VJ, I'm really glad you came on and corrected me and filled me in, because we don't deal a lot with non-immigrant visas, so I didn't know. I really appreciate it, but now I know. Thanks so much for your help.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Hey, buddy. That was great. I appreciate that. All right. Look at that, VJ helping me out, giving out the good advice. All right, let's talk to Nadeem. Hi, Nadeem.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Jim, I have a question. My wife, she applied for me and the kids. We have 3 kids. At the time she applied, we were having 2, and she was pregnant with a third baby. So she applied for my kids on March 2020, and she applied for me on August 2020. We live and reside in Saudi Arabia. However, our home country is Jordan. So in July 2021, we had to visit our parents' home, and my wife just delivered the new baby. So we went back for a vacation. At that time, we received an email from the embassy in Riyadh that our interview will be in like 1 week. We could not attend the interview. And we sent them an email that we need to postpone this. They sent us a link to postpone the interview. However, whenever we enter this link, we do not get any appointment. It's been since August 2021 up till now. Is this normal? This is my first question. And my second question, we applied for our new baby on November 2021. So if her case gets approved by the NVC, will they reschedule all our interviews in one?
Is the baby's case still at USCIS, or is it at the NVC?
No, at the USCIS right now.
Yeah. So I think you're going to have to wait for the baby's case to process through.
Okay.
I mean, you can try to get them to, I would start bothering USCIS and say, hey, look, this is an added on baby. And I assume your wife is a U.S. citizen. Is that why you filed a separate one? Yeah. So I think it might be sort of a blessing that you don't have an interview yet for everybody else. Does your wife, so when you're outside the United States, your wife usually stays with you, I guess?
We live and work here in Saudi Arabia. So
yeah, but like, what ties does your wife have to the United States? Has she lived in the United States? Does she have a house?
Was born there. She doesn't have a house there.
Right. So what address did you use for
For the immigration file, we used my brother's address. He lives in the States. So we used his address.
So I think that, I mean, first of all, it's weird that the interview. So when they said the interview is canceled and here's a link to reschedule it, or they said click this link to cancel the interview and reschedule. Which was it?
No, the second one. Click to reschedule. They sent us a link, but this link does not work. Even if it works, but they say the link says there is no appointments available.
Yeah. Which is why we don't ever want to miss our appointments. So in answer to your question, do we want to start beating the bushes and trying to get a new interview scheduled, or do we want to try to wait for the baby's case to work its way through so that everybody can go to the embassy together? I think that's what I would vote for, but that's more a lifestyle question than an immigration strategy question.
So you think we should wait for
I would. Yeah, unless you're in a hurry to get to the United States. But also, the thing I wanted to mention is, with your wife being one of these people who is sort of born in the United States, has citizenship, but has never really resided here, you need to start building a case for her residency in the United States. Otherwise, they're not going to give you the green card. So she needs to.
Well, she spent like 4.5 years of her life in the States.
How long? But how long ago?
Oh, it was like years ago.
So yeah, so she needs to come to the United States, open a bank account, get the kids enrolled in school, get a library card, start documenting that she intends to domicile in the United States. Because right now she's in a third country. She's a Jordanian national living in Saudi Arabia. They're going to be like, why should we give your husband a green card when you've never lived here?
Okay.
So I would use this time to start building up that part of the case while waiting for baby number 3 to get an approved I-130 and then go from there.
Okay, thank you. But if the once the case gets approved, I think we should wait. But if something happens and we get some delays, we can just request another appointment from the NVC, or that would be hard.
Or you could get the visas and you and the 2 kids go to the United States. Your wife stays with the baby while her case is processing. You guys go get your green cards and then come back. You don't ever want to be too cute with rescheduling interviews over and over. So I think we just got to wait and see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Nadeem. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
That was sort of a confusing case. All right, got time for one more. We'll go to Elon. Hi, Elon.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for having me.
Sure thing.
My question is, I filed for my case in 2019, and I got an interview in 2020, which was in August. And after the interview, we were waiting for the green card, which didn't come in till 2021. In November, I got the officers who came to the house and asked a lot of questions, went through my phones, went to both side neighbors to ask them questions.
Yeah.
So I asked them, is it okay or should I wait till they approve? They said they were going to get back to me. So later on, they called my wife, who was in school, and asked her a couple of questions. And
so your wife wasn't home. Your wife wasn't home when they showed up?
No. And
Okay.
At that time, we had a domestic violence in the house, which my wife's kid wanted to stab me. So I was asked to leave the house. So they asked, so what is going to happen now that I'm out of the house? And I told them, oh, I live in a hotel. I only come to the house when there is no one in the house. So I think it was a coincidence they met me in the house that time to ask me all these questions. So they asked if we are going to get involved in counseling, and I'm willing to. And I said, yeah, to move forward, because this is where I live. I can't be living in a hotel and paying for it. So later on, they called my wife and asked her, why am I not? Yes, they asked me, why am I not working? And I said, I don't have a green card. And they said, why didn't I file for a work permit? And I said, I didn't know that. I only thought I could wait for the green card and start working. So they asked, how am I getting sponsorship? And I'm like, my wife take care of things, and sometimes I get help from my dad or my mom back home. So they asked my wife, why am I not working? And she said, because they didn't approve me for anything, so I can't work. And they said they went through my phone and they saw that I've been buying shoes for other people, and that is a side business that I am doing. And I said, no, it's my brother. I only bought shoes for my brother because I'm here and he's back home.
How many shoes are you talking about?
A lot, like 15.
Okay, so what's this? What's the question, Elon?
Am I supposed to wait, or I can just apply for the work permits now? Because when I asked, I didn't know. Now I know.
You should apply for the work permit. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, this sounds troubling to me. Did they separate you and your wife at the interview?
Yes.
And are you still outside of the house?
Yes. Right now I'm outside of the house.
So they're just waiting for you to get divorced so they can deny the case. They're just going to sit on your case. They don't like the case. It's just a mess.
Yes, because they asked my wife, since I'm out of the house now, is she not worried? And my wife asked her if she's an immigration lawyer or a marriage counselor. And she got upset and she said they are really concerned about the case right now.
Yeah, I think they want to deny it. I think they think it's weird that you don't live with your spouse. And I think that when you got married, were you in status or were you out of status?
I was in status. You
were? Okay. All right. Well, so I think they're just going to sit on your case and see what happens. I think if I were you, I would meet with a lawyer and start trying to build a stronger case and submit it to them and say, hey, here's a lot more evidence. We know why you're worried, but this is the truth, and here's the deal. Right now, your case sounds really shaky to me.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Good luck. Okay. All right. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. Let's see what time we'll do tomorrow. Any votes? Anyone want to vote for a good time tomorrow? Let's say 3 p.m. Central tomorrow. 3 p.m. Central. That'll do it. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Sunday.